So I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with this. I may post it, I may not. I just feel like I need to do this. I've been so bothered and drawn to this Astroworld situation. Being a tarot reader, intuitive, psychic, clairvoyance, clairaudient, all of those things, whatever you want to say, my abilities. There's a reason why I can't let this go, and so I need to just get this out. And I want to do some research on this as to the stones I was drawn to for this reading. I just want to get information like, why did this happen? What was the purpose? See if I can get any visions or anything on this. I was drawn to my dragon's, or well, it's not dragon's blood. This is Unikite stone. Says love on it. My howlite stone. And then, of course, I knew this was going to come in, my black tourmaline, my big one. This is all about cleaning dark energies, and I want to hold them like this, my receiving and my giving. So I've asked for protection. I'm pulled in my guides, my angels, guardians from the north, east, south, and west to come in, draw a sacred circle around my space. And right away, my head is tingling. I'm seeing, so around the crowd, all right, this would be like me kind of looking above. It's like this circle, this giant gray-brown circle of swirling, almost like, kind of reminds me of like when you're watching a movie and the special effects idea of what a soul or spirit would look like, right? It's like these sort of wispy figures, right? The back of my head is tingling so bad. But it's like this, it's almost like a tornado of energy, okay, circling and swirling, which would make sense. I mean, we are all energy, okay? We're going to produce energy. That's just science. We know that. There's frequencies. There's energy swirling around us. There's the music energy, you know, from vibrational and things. So that part doesn't really seem too surprising to me to see that. But it's almost like a debris field. That's the word that's coming to mind, debris field. However, the thing that I don't like, what I'm seeing, mind you, I cannot control what is being shown to me. If I see it or hear it, I have to say it, okay? It's just how it always is. I have to trust what I'm being shown. And again, this doesn't surprise me because there's dark energies, there's light, there's will always be, always has been. But I'm being shown in amongst the crowd. It's almost like as if I have like a handheld camera or something, and I'm just kind of walking through the crowd is what they're showing me. I'm a little elevated and also kind of going through. But the darker figures, the black figures, the tarry figures, the things that I see that attach themselves to people. And there's some wrapped around feet. My forehead is now tingling really severely. I see them wrapped around feet. I see them walking through. I wish I could explain them. It reminds me so much, if you've ever read the book Odd Thomas, I'm pretty sure there's a movie about it too. That's what they remind me of. They go where there's darkness. They go where there's going to be an event, as I call it. So everything is pre-planned, okay? We come here to this planet. We know what's going to happen. We make the plans. This is how it's going to be. Good, bad, and different. So there was a knowing, of course, that something was going to happen. And so they're gathering in this space. And yes, energy is being consumed. We talk about it all the time, energy vampires. This was just in a huge capacity. Whereas if you're in a bar or you're at a family function or whatever, there's always going to be somebody there that just kind of feeds off of your energy. Unconsciously, of course. I mean, or maybe it is conscious, but we all know that, right? When you've been around somebody, it just drains your energy, right? You're just like, oh my God, they're so negative, kind of thing. It's the same sort of concept. It's just this was en masse, right? But here's the beautiful thing, though, too, is when it feels kind of emotional. There were angels and guides around the people. Everywhere I'm seeing them. Helping, preventing, fighting back the ick, the ickies, the dark ones, whatever you want to call them, with their people, trying to pull them up, making room, making things happen. You're showing me the angels kind of hovering above certain pockets where things are really bad. I see 1, 2, 3. If I'm looking at the crowd facing towards, I guess it would have been like the merch booths. It would have been to the right of the stage. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 main pockets where there's angels kind of hovering. I see 2 in the upper left of the stage. And then 3 to the back left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 8 pockets that they're showing me. And then there was some in the very back as well. Probably the people who were had been pulled out and were being treated. This was an event that was supposed to happen. And the reason was for it to bring to light the ick, to chase away some of the darkness, because as it's exposed and the light is shown, it cannot survive. And so it's basically burnt up in the light. I mean, they're literally showing me like if, the classic movie vampire, as the sun shines on them, they just kind of turn to dust and the wind blows and they disappear. That's what they're showing me. So a lot of these things were being eliminated. Okay, so this was like a giant purge, if you want to call it as such. It's the only thing I can think of analogy-wise, this purge of ick and these darker things, because darkness has really been creeping in. Okay, we all know that. The pendulum has been swinging way too far this way. It has to start coming back. So yes, we have souls and spirits and guides on this side trying to battle that. Well, what happens is we're in agreement with people here, and their souls know, okay, my mission is we're going to go to this place. We're going to draw in all the darkness. It was almost like bait, if you want to think of it as that. But they knew that this was going to happen. So they come in, the darkness kind of circles this place. It's a mass energy, and it draws them in like a beacon in the dark. They just come in. Well, now they're all concentrated in one place. The truth and light can be shown on this nastiness. Disappearing. I hope that makes sense. It's a truth exposed is light achieved. Does that make sense? Truth exposed eliminates the darkness. Once you know, it no longer has power, kind of thing. And no, I don't believe that Travis Barker is some, in league with the devil or anything like that. No. Obviously, his soul is part of all of this. You could call it good, bad. I see it as more, he knew, you could almost see it as a, what do you call that? Almost like a martyr, okay, but just not as honorable, okay? So his soul knows that here in this life, he's going to be a lightning rod. I guess that would be a better term. A lightning rod for energies. But he knows that. He knows it's going to draw the darkness. But that serves a purpose, right? That darkness comes in and that allows for the light to come in and have everything in one spot. It's like eliminating the darkness with a net. One giant pocket, one available space. Get rid of it. And that really honestly is his purpose. He has a lot more to do, a lot more darkness to pull in. This certainly I don't think is going to be the last time. But this is definitely going to bring about some change. It has definitely brought some light in. That's like ripping back the curtains on a dark and dusty room, and all of the shadows disappear. That's what in essence has happened through this horror, right? And these beautiful people who gave themselves at that time, knowing that they were going to go, I would say on the soul level, they're fine, they're okay. They're on the other side. Blessed and happy to be with their soul families, and they're still here. They're comforting, they're busy comforting their family that is left behind, bringing in miracles for them, being able to work on the other side and do things that they never could have done on this side. It's heartbreaking, and as it is for those of us left behind, there's seeing and knowing what I do and what I see. It's also really a beautiful thing too. I liken it to, I saw something one time and it made so much sense to me when I first started this journey, where when your person, family member, passes away, you can't see them, but you know they're there. It's like you're in a house. You know they're in the house, but they're in another room. You can't hear them or see them, right? You can yell out to them and talk to them, and they can yell out and talk back. You just can't see them. That's one of the best analogies I've ever seen, and it makes so much sense, and it coincides with the things that I've seen as well. So I would like to pull some cards and just kind of see some of the reasons why this. I'm really drawn to this deck today. And this one, I feel like I need to pull these first. So let's take a look. Interesting, the love and the freedom card showed up in the people in the cage. It's almost a way to bring forward love and in union with one another. You know, when tragedy strikes, we come together, right? We need to remind us that we're here to love one another and help one another. And nothing makes that happen more than tragedy. Wake up. Some people, their darkness comes out. But for a lot, their soul purpose comes to life. This also, I feel, was a catalyst for some people. Spirituality, I feel, and again, all roads lead to the same place. Christian, Buddha, whatever, all the roads lead to the same place. So I'm just going to speak spiritually, okay? I feel that this was also a catalyst to kind of help, like, clean the windshield of some people, like your third eye, your spirituality. I liken it to when you first start sort of remembering. It's like a windshield that's covered in mud, and this is like the first swipe, right? That's getting a little clear, but it's still kind of muddy. That's kind of what this feels like as well. Like there's been a big hand that's just kind of swiped the muddy windshield of some of these people's third eyes and their intuition. And it's weird because I'm kind of hearing that, actually. I've watched some of the things on this, and people are talking about how this has really kind of woken them up or made them see some things. So that coincides with this as well. Yeah, strength. This has helped some people find that strength, that inner knowing, that spiritual strength. In adversity. Wow. Compassion. This is teaching people compassion for one another, for humanity. This is putting a spotlight on those that were not compassionate, and it's bringing to the surface the compassion of others, right? In the wake of the horror, that, again, swipes that windshield and allows the compassion to come up through this societal darkness that we've been put in. You know, and if you look at the light here in her hands that she's holding, right? It's like spreading compassion through the world, through the earth. Wow. And it's, you know, what's weird is so she has horns and she has horns. Manifestation. So this is a way of, and I'm seeing the spark here in the moon. This is a way of helping to manifest the light back into this world. The emotions, because the moon is all about emotions, right? This is also a manifestation. There was a manifestation of fear. You get this group, this energy, and it manifests. I feel that this is also a way of showing people that energy does produce. It can produce certain things. Energy, I mean, that's just a fact. Okay, you can look that up. We're all energy, and mass hysteria, whatever you want to call it. I also feel like it was a manifestation of people remembering where they come from, lives before, their powers, their gifts. Again, a catalyst. Yeah. God, you know, and this is just weird because you got the horns and you have the fire, right? And his whole entrance with the fire, and I do feel too that this is, and it's just weird. It's not, there's no coincidences, right? A manifestation of the dark ones coming. This passion card is also dancing too close to the flames. This was also something to show people that, yeah, it's good to have fun, but all good things in moderation. Sometimes we need this giant, massive lesson, and that's another thing that this is bringing up. Passion is beautiful. It's a wonderful thing, but when it is in excess, it's going to burn you. Yeah. This couldn't be any more beautiful as to what I was seeing. So look at her in the darkness, right? Just pitch black all around. She's the only light, right? This is exactly this event showed the world. It brought in the darkness so that the light ones could come in and just get rid of it. This is to bring up inspiration, inspiring stories, people that were there helping. It's breeding that compassion, that out of the horror, out of this darkness, inspiration comes forward. And, you know, and look at this little light that she's dropping. She's, you know, just planting seeds of light and hope that, yeah, there is still humanity and compassion. Let's not get lost in the horror of it all. Let's look at the people who were there to help. The ones that did everything that they could, right? There's still hope in this world, and this shows that. That's like this being of light dropping a seed of light within the darkness so that it will grow. Yeah, and then we have commitment. Commitment to self, commitment to doing the right thing, commitment to purpose, and untangling the things that we feel that we have been committed to, things that we thought were important, right? It's important for me to, I mean, this is in reference to toxic type stuff, right? I'm committed to my bros, I'm committed to my hoes, I'm committed to having a good time, F this, F that kind of thing. Getting entangled in the, I just heard the word ambrosia, entangled in the societal BS, right? And you see it's a raven and a dove, the dark and the light. And intuition, peace, intuition. Ravens are intuition and magic. And the doves are peace and love. And combining the two and untangling that and committing to doing the right thing. And empowerment. Look at that, empowerment. This has brought some empowering, uplifting, new way of looking at things. Empowering people to speak up. Empowering people to set boundaries. Empowering people to see what's right and what's wrong in their world. What did I just say? This has brought some clarity. Clarity to 50,000 people. Some clarity has come in. That's a huge thing. We need more of it. Financial health. Well, this is certainly going to, I know this is going to sound weird, but we know that there's going to be lawsuits involved in this. So this was also a way to take from the haves and give to the have-nots, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, really, it couldn't be any more simplified than that. And then at the bottom, family. This is the kind of stuff and the tragedy that makes us appreciate who we have around us and our family in love. We've come so far away from family. Loved ones scared and terrified, calling, making sure, and realizing, my God, let's put aside all of the BS and stupid petty arguments. I'm just glad you're alive. It's pretty profound, honestly, and it really kind of ties in to everything that I've seen in the bottom of the deck. I just split it. Friendship. This helped strengthen the bonds of friendship. This helped show people what it is to be human in this planet, that ultimately we're all connected by this spark of light. We're all connected to the same source, and to nurture those friendships and keep them close. Soul groups, I'm hearing. Soul groups. I'm going to use these now. Let's take a look. So that was the why. Show me just the energy, please. I want to know the energy of the that whole surrounding facility, please. What was the energy of that space? What happened there? Where's the energy? The energy of that place. Wow. If that ain't... See that? Tower. That's just unreal. The spirit's so amazing. The Tower card. This is everything falling apart, exploding, blowing up, shattered, unexpected upheaval, lightning hitting. I mean, this was a Tower moment in many people's lives. And again, with the swirling clouds and the darkness around it, it's, yeah. Jesus, could this not be any more accurate? Somebody up there, I mean, you could perceive this how you want, but for me, I see this as, you know, people trying to stave off the crowd, to stand their ground, to take the higher ground, to help others, to back people up, pull people out, doing the righteous thing, right? Because he's wearing like a, I don't know, it makes me think of like a Knights Templar kind of thing, right? He's taken the higher ground. He's trying to defend himself, but also too, you could perceive this as, you know, the performers up there on the stage looking down, and maybe feeling defensive about the situation, putting themselves on a pedestal kind of thing, right? But I feel the energy of this as, you know, people trying to defend themselves and keep themselves safe. And it's funny because you have the Tower back there as well. Wow, jeez. The Ten of Swords. Look at how everything just got super bright. The Ten of Swords. Stabs in the back, pain, death. This is literally, like, this event was, I mean, these cards are just creepy and amazing what they're showing. I mean, this is exactly what happened. People being bound and stuck. Do you see? I mean, he can't escape. He's going to be stabbed. He's going to be hurt. He's going to suffer pain. The 10 is the end. After the 10 comes a rebirth. He's bound and shackled. And then we have the Two of Wands, decisions. You know, if you look at that, it's like this one little tiny little space to get through, right? It's like people being stuck and trying to find their way out. The Two of Wands, do I stay? Do I go? I need to make a decision here. Do I help these people or do I not? I need to make a plan, an exit plan, I just heard. You've got the green and the purple, the lighter and the dark. You know, the green is the heart chakra, the purple is the crown. Do you follow your heart or do you follow your guidance from your angels? That's just amazing. Again, this is the energy of that place at this time, okay? At the time all of this was happening. Wow. The 10 again, the burdens is so heavy. I mean, look at this. He's being crushed under the weight of these wands, right? Jesus. Again, crushed under the weight of these people. Just one more, please. Down. Then we have a Justice card. It's karma. This is the card of karma. This is the card of the universe balancing the scales. Integrity. And again with the fire, right? The images of the flames. Justice is blind kind of thing. So this was a balancing of the scales. Exactly what I was talking about. Too much darkness. The light had to come in and balance the scales. And it's hard. It's hard to see. It's hard to watch. It's kind of what I'm getting from her being blindfolded. It's difficult to see, but it has to happen. And that was the purpose. That was the energy of this place. It was time to balance the scales. Shit had to be done. We've gone too far to the dark. We had to bring the shit back to the light. Bottom of the deck is the Lover's card. This has everything to do with choices, soul contracts, soul groups, soulmates. So the energy of this place is, you know, this would tie into that, again, the choices. Do I help others? Do I continue my soul contract? I'm bound to my contract. This is my soul group. These are my people. This was planned kind of energy. Okay, this is soulmates, helping one another, finding each other. There's probably people who found each other in all of this insanity, right? Connections were made as well as strengthened, and some bonds probably broken. That's all about what this card is, the Lover's card, the soul connections. Just... I mean, look at that. That's exactly how these people felt. The Eight of Swords, bound, stuck, tied. No matter where she turns, right? You see there's swords everywhere. She knows. But if you also look, she does have the ability to take off that blindfold and get out if she needs to. But again, this just feels like, again, the energy of this place is people felt stuck and bound and tied and unable to move, because the fear is if they did, they were going to get hurt. But if they stayed, they're going to get hurt. That's what this card talks about. So this was the energy of that place in that moment. That's pretty powerful. So let's look at, we already know the why. We saw the purpose with those oracle cards to bring in compassion, balance the scales, all of that. So let's look at what is going to come out of this. What is the energy moving forward? What is going to happen? The World card just showed itself, so that just tells me that completion of a cycle. Completion of a cycle. The Fool card, new beginnings, taking a leap of faith, starting a new transition. The world is, the completion is literally the completion of a journey. We've journeyed down this long, dark road, and now the Fool is starting a new journey. So this closed out something so that new things could start. a new start of compassion, a new start at safety, at gatherings. It's a shift. It's a big shift. You think about all those people who were there and the coverage that this is getting. The purpose is to shift people back into that heart space, to wake them up, help them remember. People are going to be finding their purposes. Just moving forward, please. King of Swords. King of Swords. This is, so moving forward, people are going to be speaking their truth. They're going to be looking at this very analytically. They're going to be filing cases, using their intellect, and understanding that they need to make better choices, standing in their truth, and I just heard steering away from emotional confrontation. That's interesting. But this also talks about seeing the bigger picture. So like if you look at him, he's kind of floating above the earth, right? He's seeing things from above. He's looking down and seeing things from an intellectual point of view. I feel that this is going to create, moving forward, new ways of doing things. Planning. They're showing me a what do you call it? Like a city planner, like blueprints, like of how to do things moving forward. So events and things like that. Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is usually a card of feeling left out in the cold, okay? So moving forward, this is going to, I just heard, again, take from the haves and give to the have-nots. It's almost like people who may have been left out in the cold, people who may have felt left out from family, from just life in general. This was a big wake-up call, and people are going to start pulling people back in to that circle, and the family circle, the friendship circle. This is going to create an abundance for some, but it's also going to remove abundance from others, right? The ones who have been dealing with excess and again, the balancing of the scales. So some will receive abundance and some will go the opposite direction, but it has to be that way. And it also too is going to create, you know, just moving forward. This is sort of common sense, but the cards are also saying it's going to remove funds. There's going to be a lot of legal things happening, court cases, things like that. Sorry, I keep getting phone calls here. So again, legal court cases moving forward. Yeah, Four of Wands. This is going to create a sense of family. Again, people are going to be more inclined to have a commitment to family because this was a close call for a lot of people. This is going to create more solid foundations within families, within friendships, just in life in general. People are going to be more drawn to securing their future, basically, because this was a close call for so many. It's going to help them see what's important in life. This is what I need for a firm foundation, friends, family, and otherwise. So again, that's makes a lot of sense. So moving forward, a lot of people are going to find a balance and solid foundation within self, within spirit, within family. Oh, look at this is divine love. This is romantic, soul deep connections, right? This is going to foster those soul deep connections, that love, that divinity, that understanding that We are all connected, and there is a soul purpose here for everyone. That's beautiful. You know, and soulmates don't have to be romantic. I mean, this is soul group, our soul family. Yeah, the Empress. This is, you know, the Empress is the queen of all queens. She's all of them in one. It's going to foster that maternal, right? We've been so far in the patriarchal. This is swinging back to the matriarchal. You know, the love, the giving birth to new ideas, new compassion on our planet, that gathering in of the small ones, of the earth, and bringing in that nurturing spirit once again, bringing balance. So that's what's coming in. That's really beautiful, bringing in the feminine. And here's the Fool card again. So that leap of faith, that's starting the new journey. We're starting a new phase. This is a big sweep of energy that just got swept out. And it has created space for the feminine energy, for the divine love, divine unions, balance to come back in and fill that up. Yep. The Ace of Wands, new inspiration, fire, passion for life, for one another, for all that is sacred. People are going to be inspired to act, to do good deeds, connect with one another. That's pretty powerful. And here we have the Three of Cups, the friendship, that oracle card that showed up earlier. Celebration, friendship, gratitude, celebration of life, and knowing that, again, we are all connected, and the value of friendship and community, coming together as a community, pouring that love back into community. Do you see those two cups flowing into the one? So out of bad comes good always. Sometimes it's hard to see it. I think that's why I was so drawn to do this today. And then here we have that Eight of Swords showed up again. Different deck, same card. And this, though, I feel is us realizing that, you know what, as a society, as humanity, we are not stuck in this ick and this darkness, this, you know, he said, she said, racist, egomaniacal place that we let ourselves be pulled into. We can pull off that blindfold and walk out. We can do good in this world. It isn't all bad. There's more good out there than there is bad. And we have to free ourselves from these limiting thoughts and beliefs and start putting that love back into our communities and our families and our friendships. And this is just one giant example. And sometimes we have to be slapped in the face with tragedy to understand what is truly important. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So I hope that this was helpful, that this maybe brought some understanding to those. I know I was just very drawn myself. I couldn't get it out of my head. I do feel better now that I've done this, and I wish you all love and growth and spiritual protection.